Residents of Lavender Hills in the Western Cape has vowed to continue fighting the increase in electricity tariffs. Community members assert that the price of electricity has become unattainable. Now, since last week, members of the 7945 Action Group have barred city contractors from installing or replacing any electricity meter boxes in the area, as the rise in tariffs apparently stems from the change in meter boxes. To discuss this, I'm now joined by Mark Schrikker, who is the chairperson of the 7945 Community Action Group, and Xanthea Limberg, who is the member of the City of Cape Town Mayoral Committee on Energy. A good welcome to you both this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Xanthea, perhaps we should begin with you. So the city has embarked on a change of meter boxes on the basis that you believe that many of them have been tampered with. The community disagrees with this. What are you basing or establishing this tampering on?
Good evening, and thank you once again for the opportunity to engage on what is a very important matter for the city. Firstly, I think that there's been a conflation, or the issues have been conflated in respect to the city's metering program. There is a meter replacement program, which is an annual program where we are focusing on replacing old credit meters with new prepaid meters. So over 580,000 households in Cape Town have prepaid meters, and only about just over 73,000 households in Cape Town have the old credit meters, or what is also referred as postpaid meters. And so the focus is on replacing those credit or postpaid meters. And we have issued a schedule of areas where our teams are working to do that replacement work. So that's the one program. And then in relation to the other meter operations, what we call meter investigations, and this is part of our revenue protection efforts. This is where we have identified potential cases of either tampering or faulty meters. And here the city has to undertake an investigation whether there is a meter that has been physically tampered with or whether there is a faulty meter. And in both scenarios, we would perform a investigation in terms of our standard operating procedures and replace it with a prepaid meter. For our meter replacement program, as well as meter investigation operations, if there is a prepaid meter that is replaced, there is no cost to the property owner or to that household. It is free of charge. And so I think that needs to be made clear that there are two separate programs. And unfortunately, it is often confused. Most importantly, the new prepaid meter does not mean that residents are going to be charged more for electricity. They remain on the same tariff, and they pay the same electricity unit price for electricity, even when they get the new prepaid meter. And I think that also needs to be something that is made clear. In the meter investigation process, I think what also needs to be understood is that the team look at usage patterns, purchasing patterns, as well as doing physical investigations of whether the meter has been tampered with. And in that process, the customer also has an appeal ability, so they can dispute the city's outcome if they believe that the city hasn't followed due process, or the outcome or the finding is incorrect. They have the ability to dispute on more than one occasion as part of the entire process that the city follows.
So, Mark, when you engage with community members, because you were part of organizing the demonstration that took place in Cape Town last week, with what the MMC has now outlined with regards to the types of replacements, whether it's for investigation or the annual program, when you speak amongst the community members, are you finding that the tariffs differ from those whose meter boxes have not been changed to those whose meter boxes have been changed, whether it's under investigation or it is under the replacement program?
Yes, we have found. We went so far to go out of our area to find out. And we found somebody in another area that has an old meter box. And where he used 600 and odd for the month, all right? we use about 3,000 rand for a month, up to, say, from 1,500 to 3,000 rand a month. You understand, with the new boxes, where the MEC is saying that it's investigating and it's only the post-meter boxes. I beg to differ, because they come in and they replace all the meter boxes. So what the MEC is saying and what they're actually doing is two different things. And we need to get clarification. And I believe the MEC sent us, office sent us an email on Friday at about past 5 the evening, yesterday past 5 the evening, to sit down with engagement, which should have taken place a long time ago. But we still accept the meeting for Monday, which they want. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's fair that the city should, if I put it in a nice and simpler way, contradict or lie to the public, because what they're saying, this is our processes, but it's not being followed, because meter boxes are just being replaced. You understand? And what is happening is that with the investigation system, how do they investigate the tampering? Do they have a special unit that investigated? When the unit is being removed, do they put it in a sealed evidence bag? Is there law enforcement to assist them with it? Has it been taken to a facility? And under what charges do they charge these people? Because people are being judged and charged with tampering, which means that the city is acting like a court and finding people guilty. You understand? And charging them and fining them 8,000 rand for some people.
So perhaps, MMC, let's bring you in there, maybe just to give clarity with regards to, are you changing all meter boxes, or are you just changing those that need to be upgraded in the changing program and those that have been tampered with?
So as part of the meter replacement program, we are replacing the old credit meters with new prepaid meters. As part of the meter investigation work, which is part of our revenue protection operations, which are also ongoing, here, if we find a faulty meter, or if we find a meter that has been physically tampered with, a new prepaid meter will also be installed at no cost to the resident. If there is evidence of meter tampering, the customer, as I said, has the ability to appeal, either by writing to the city or visiting our walk-in centers or contacting our call center. They have 14 days to appeal once they've been informed of the finding. Thereafter, after receiving a contravention notice, they are issued with a contravention fee. And after replacing the tampered meter with a new prepaid meter, the city will assess the consumption at that property for a period of 3 to 6 months to do an adjustment account to understand how much electricity that was consumed previously but not paid for should now be owed to the city. After making that adjustment account available to the customer, they have a further 21 days to appeal that outcome before that debt is loaded onto the customer's prepaid meter for the deductions to take place. So there is a proper process that is followed. With regards to meter tests, there is a metrology lab where meters are tested. The city's meters do comply with national standards and are tested under very stringent calibration tests and standards. So we can confirm that our meters are compliant, and when they are installed, are operating as they are supposed to. What I do agree with in respect to Mr. Schrikker's and the community's concerns is the cost of electricity. And it is for this reason that the Mayor of Cape Town wrote to NERSA to really call on NERSA to not approve Eskom's proposed 44% tariff increase that they are allegedly going to be putting forward as part of their new tariff application. The city has tried to do a lot to protect residents from high Eskom tariff increases. And just remember, the city isn't immune to Eskom tariff increases. We purchase our bulk electricity from Eskom. 70% of our revenue who's paying Eskom. And so we have attempted to introduce lower than Eskom tariff increases, and we have tried to shield our customers on the lifeline tariff, which are indigenous customers, by reducing that tariff by 44% over the last 2 years. So a lot of effort has been made.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I'm sorry, I need to interject. I need to interject there, MMC.
To engage Mr. Schrikker and the community of Lavender Hill.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I really would have wanted for us to extend this conversation even further, but I do believe that the two parties will be sitting come next week and finding solutions and charting a way forward. Thank you so much for joining us, Xanthea Limberg from the City of Cape Town, and Mark Schrikker, who is the 7945 Community Action Group leader.